Hey guys, I'm giving you this additional video, keeping in mind actually the problem that I gave to you in the previous video. I assumed that you know mixture and alligation, but I think probably I should revise that concept with you. So I'm gonna do some quick revision question here, with which I think you can gain confidence in the concept of alligation and mixture. What is alligation? So whenever you have an alligation mixture concept, concept related question, what is happening? हो क्या रहा है वहां पे? You would always have a mix of certain thing. Like for example, I gave an example of profit and loss. So एक ही चीज का कुछ पार्ट से प्रॉफिट हो रहा था, कुछ से लॉस हो रहा था, एंड देन वी हैड द ओवरऑल एवरेज प्रॉफिट क्या है, एंड वी कुड मूव अराउंड एंड डू दैट क्वेश्चन इन कपल ऑफ वेज. एक तो एलिगेशन के थ्रू कर सकते हैं विच इज अ शॉर्टकट, अदरवाइज उसको कॉस्ट प्राइस सेलिंग प्राइस की तरह से भी किया जा सकता है, लाइक अ नॉर्मल प्रॉफिट क्वेश्चन, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस क्वेश्चन. अब सवाल ये है फिर ये एलिगेशन क्या है? Allegation basically it's just a shortcut method which has a formula to it, and उस formula को लगा के हम बहुत easily कई complex questions solve कर सकते हैं. तो ये formula क्या है? Let me throw some light on it. So allegation is the concept which is based on weighted average of a mixture. So if you have some mixture with you, जैसे सबसे आसान तरीका क्या रहेगा? दूध में पानी मिलाया जाता है. When somebody wants to make profit, so what do? They mix water in milk, right? अब वो किसी रेशियो में मिलाया जाता है, right? उस रेशियो को प्राइस से लिंक करना है अगर, तो एलिगेशन का यूज किया जा सकता है. सो एलिगेशन लिटरली द वर्ड मीन्स लिंकिंग. दैट्स हाउ रेशियो लिंक किया जा रहा है दो चीजों का, मिक्सचर का. दैट इज व्हाट वी आर डूइंग. सो आई take quick examples here to make you guys understand this formula. Just the way I gave you a situation of water and milk, ऐसे ही शॉपकीपर्स क्या कर सकते हैं, रिटेलर्स क्या कर सकते हैं कि एक महंगी चीज, सेम चीज, एक महंगा एक महंगा सुपीरियर कह लो या महंगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ मनी कह लेंगे तो महंगा है, और एक सस्ता वर्जन है किसी एक आइटम का. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम टेकिंग एन एग्जाम्पल ऑफ टी. सो सपोज करो एक टाटा टी है, और उसके बाद आपके पास एक नेचर केयर विच इज एन एक्सपेंसिव वन, और सम एक्सपेंसिव टी इज देयर, और सम एंड टाटा टी इज देयर. So what shopkeeper wants to do is the shopkeeper wants to mix it up and sell. So one is 40 rupees per kg and the other is 27 per kg. He wants to make a mixture so that he can sell at 30 per kg. We are, doing this thing in a justified manner. If he wants to do it in a justified manner. तो क्या तरीका है इसका? एलिगेशन का फॉर्मूला क्या होता है? तो इस केस में हम क्या करेंगे? there is a center position taken by the average. जैसे यहां पर 30 is the average. Okay, so price जो ultimately average price है, price of the mixture, that's your center figure, price of the mixture. Now इस situation में हम क्या करेंगे? We'll take quantity. So we have to attach this price of the mixture to the following things. On this end, you should write down quantity of cheaper, और ये किस हिसाब से कर रहे हैं हम? Basically, we are looking into the ratio in the following manner. So we are looking at the ratio that quantity of cheaper upon quantity of the dearer should be equal to, the ratio of this should be equal to, need some more space here, so this should be equal to price of the dearer minus average price upon average price minus price of cheaper. So quantity of cheaper यहाँ पे आ गया and quantity of dearer यहाँ पे आ गया. So suppose this is cheaper and this is dearer. Now here, this suppose is the average price M. So here you will have D minus M. And here you will have M minus C. And this will give you your answer to whatever question you have. So for example, the question that I took up. In that scenario, what will happen? So in case of our question, what will be the interpretation here? The interpretation will be cost of cheaper, quantity of cheaper upon quantity of dearer. We want this ratio, right? This ratio is equal to price of dearer was, I think 40, right? 40 minus the average is 30 upon, here you will have 30 minus 27. So it's going to be 10 upon 3. So what is the ratio in which the cheaper and dearer should be mixed up? This is the ratio, okay? 10:3. So what have we done? Here you had 30, quantity of dearer, of cheaper and dearer here. And here you had price of quantity of, dearer, and here you have the price of dearer minus 30, and here the ratio, it is 30 minus 27. So this ratio that you see here, the ratio that you are getting here is supposed to be equal to, should be logically also equal to the ratio that we get here. This is what is the method of alligation. So the concept of alligation and mixture, it could be used in different kind of questions, like for example, profit and loss, time and work. There could be different applications of this concept. Now, I want to correct myself. What I did in the previous video, I gave you the question. In the question, I had mentioned 20% loss. Okay. But when I was solving it, I considered 10%. So that's the thing. When I was solving, I considered 10% and the entire calculation was according to that. You want to carry on with 20%, then you will have to redo the calculations and you will get a different answer. So with 10% loss, what we were trying to do here is that this is your loss and this is your profit. So on one end, you will have your loss, one end you will have your profit. In general, the lower end is kept here, like the cheaper commodities price is kept here. So loss is kept here as minus 10 and the remaining is has to be sold at a profit, and of course it will be a higher profit. So suppose that is X. In our question, we had to find this out. So suppose that is X. In order to use alligation, now what will we do? We will do X would be bigger. So we will do X minus 20 here, and 20 minus 10, 30. So just making a correction here. And in case loss is 20%, 20%, then it would be a case of minus 20 here, X here. You want to make it a total of 20% again. Then this would be again X minus 20, and this would be 40. And accordingly, you will look into the ratio. So, crux of the story was that the ratio of the commodities, the ratio in which you have profit and loss, in the sense, 1/4 was going on a loss, right? 1/4 was going on a loss. So we'll be looking at the ratio X minus 20 upon 30 will be equal to the amount of the commodity 1/4 upon 3/4 for profit, right? So that is how the ratio would be like this. In case, had it been, originally what I wrote 20%, then it should be X minus 20. That was fine, upon 40. Then you would have 40 here. 40 is equal to 1/4 upon 3/4, or in other words, 1/3. So this ratio should be equal, and then I think you will get X as 100 upon 3. That is 33.33%. Okay. That is, you would need a higher profit because you've had higher loss, right? You've had more loss, so you need higher profit in order to make it 20% overall profit. So this was the application, and you can have some more kind of applications. Let me give you another example here. Now let's work on this typical milk and water mixture question. So a container is full of milk. 1/3 of milk is taken out of it and replaced by the same quantity of water. That means 1/3 water dal diya. Then again 1/3 of the mixture is taken out of it and replaced by the same quantity of water. फिर और 1/3 निकाल के और 1/3 डाल दिया. The process is repeated 4 times. 4 times ये किया जा रहा है. If 16 liters of milk is left in the container at the end of the 4th operation, find the capacity of the container. Container में आ कितना सकता है? And these are your options. So even this question could be done by using mixtures and allegations. Allegation को use किया जा सकता है यहाँ पर भी. See, all these questions आप logically भी निकाल सकते हो अलग अलग तरीके से. This is just one of the shortcuts. Now, had it been a case of कि एक ही बार निकाला गया है, milk निकाला है, and they've mixed water in it, it would have been a different case. But since it is happening repeatedly, there's a repeated dilution here. In this question, you have a repeated dilution. So इस वजह से allegation का एक special formula लगेगा इसमें. So what's that formula? That formula is like, जैसे compound interest लगा के हमारा total बढ़ जाता है ना, अगर हम compound इसी तरीके से loss सोचें, तो it's that kind of a scenario. So suppose करो, originally capacity is X, like your principal. So original capacity is X, ठीक है? Now you repeatedly, अच्छा repeatedly क्या हो रहा है कि पहले 1/3 निकाल लिया, अब जो बचा उसमें फिर डाल दिया, वाटर डाल दिया, अब उसमें से निकाला है. So it's repeated, that kind of you're repeatedly taking out from the balance after actually adding also. So ये कुछ उस तरीके का है, but I'm not saying that it's exactly that compound interest वाला thing. It's just to keep you, in terms of thinking on those lines. So this will be 1 minus instead of rate, instead of plus, you're not increasing. So it's minus y upon x. Y upon x क्या है? Y is the quantity being taken out every time. Quantity replaced every time, taken out. Units taken out every time. दैट इज नॉट चेंजिंग, दैट्स द सेम। वो भी चेंज हो रहा होगा तो बार बार अलग अलग लगाना पड़ेगा ना। तो यहाँ पर एक ही 1/3 ही हो रहा है बार बार, एंड दीज आर द टिपिकल काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन। To the power n, y upon x. So that functions like the rate at which this change is happening. Okay, and it's happening sort of in a compound manner. तो हमारे क्वेश्चन में क्या हो जाएगा, ये ओरिजिनल हमें निकालना है एक्चुअली। सो लेट x be the original capacity. So what are we given? We are given that this, after taking out 4 times, ये 16 बच रहा है, right? So that means x 1 minus 1/3 हमेशा निकाला जा रहा है। ओके, सो 1/3 हमेशा निकाला जा रहा है। सो 1/3 ऑफ x हमेशा निकाला जा रहा है अपॉन x होल टू द पावर 4। दिस इज इक्वल टू 16। इन अदर वर्ड्स इट्स x 1 minus 1/3 to the power 4 is equal to 16. That means it's x into 2/3 to the power 4 equals to 16. So what will be x? I'm sure you can figure it out yourself. 2 to the power 4 16 होता है, 16 से cancel होगा, 3 to the power 4 81 होता है, so you'll get x is equal to 81, which is one of the options. So B will be the correct option. So this is also talking about mixing and all, but in a different manner. So एक ये भी तरीका होता है alligation, mixture alligation को use करने का. This is also one of the formulas. Now let's take a question जिसपे हमें वो center position वाला average ही निकालना है. So a shopkeeper purchased a table for 1200 and sold it for at a 20% profit. And he purchased a chair at say 400 and sold it for at 10% profit. Find the overall profit. So इस बार क्या है कि let the overall profit be say m%. Overall profit ये है, ठीक है। एक तरफ हम लिखेंगे एक प्रॉफिट, एक तरफ हम लिखेंगे दूसरा प्रॉफिट, ठीक है। यहां पर लिख लीजिए डियरर का प्रॉफिट। ओके, नाउ यहां पर क्या आना चाहिए, यहां पर क्या आना चाहिए। नाउ दिस 10% इज एसोसिएटेड टू 400, राइट, एंड दिस इज एसोसिएटेड टू 20% इज एसोसिएटेड टू 1200, राइट। नाउ क्लियरली अगर आप देखें तो now if we see in terms of allocation, so what it will be, I've written like the cheaper one here, dearer one here. So dearer minus m minus cheaper, right? Now the ratio of this m minus 10 upon 20 minus m, what should be it equal to? It will be equal to 1200 upon 400. The quantity, okay, the quantity of dearer upon quantity, or the cost price of dearer upon cost price of cheaper. And this is 3:1. That means m minus 10 upon 20 minus m is equal to 3, which means I get m minus 10 equals to 60 minus 3m. So that means I get 4m be 70. So it's going to be 17.5. So that means the average profit he is making is 17.5. The average profit that he's making is 17.5. And had there been, I have not given you any option here, but if that would have been an option, that would have been the correct option. So these are the various ways in which allegation could be used. The same question could be dealt with, you can use cost price, selling price, and basic logic also to find out the weighted average. You can do that also. Allegation is just one of the methods that also could be used. Came up for saving time, basically. I hope this will help you out in understanding the questions and using this method in there. Thank you.